I want to remind you of some scriptures that we find in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Of course, this is the chapter that we have the description of the Lord's Supper and what it means and what the importance of that is. But I want to look at the first couple verses of that chapter. And it says there, "Be imitators of me just as I also am of Christ." And Paul is telling us there, do what I do because I am doing what Christ would have done. And we can trust Paul because Paul is of the power of the Holy Spirit, the guidance of the Holy Spirit. And I know to the best of his ability, he is imitating Jesus Christ, and he instructs us to imitate him, and therefore we are imitating Jesus Christ. And in verse 2 it says, "Now I praise you because you remember me in everything and hold firmly to the traditions just as I have delivered them to you." You know, we see that word traditions, and I'm not sure if that's the best word through the translation right there, because in the way we think of traditions is something that man has put together, and we do it because our fathers or mothers or our ancestors always done this, and therefore we do the same thing by tradition. But it says hold fast to the tradition. Well, the better word there would be the instructions that Paul, through the Holy Spirit, has given us to do. And as he has delivered them to us, through the power of the Holy Spirit, we are to do that very thing. And then the rest of that chapter, we find that he talks about the Lord's Supper, taking of the Lord's Supper. So we do that because of the instructions that we received when Jesus took bread and the cup that night. We also do that by the example that we see in the first century church. And the way they did it, we find out that they did it upon the first day of the week by the example in Acts. So therefore, we do the same. Even today, we come together on the first day of the week to break bread and take the cup, just as we've been instructed to from the very beginning, back in the beginning of the establishment of the church. And we have the example and instruction in the Bible. And therefore, we can do this in spirit and in truth. This part of our worship can be in spirit and in truth because we do it according to example and the instructions that we have. And then we have to do it in spirit, in our mind, and think about what we were doing so that we can honor God correctly and Jesus Christ. Would you bow your head as we give thanks for the bread?